എനിക്ക് ഞാൻ
റെക്കോർഡാവോ?
തുടങ്ങണോ? അവിടെ സെക്കൻഡ്സ് കാണുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ തുടങ്ങി.
അല്ല, ഇതിപ്പോൾ കുഴപ്പമില്ലായിരിക്കും. ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ ചുമല ഇത് കുഴപ്പമില്ലല്ലേ?
കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി ആയിട്ടാണ്.
സ്ലോപ്പ് ആയിരുന്നു.
Please everyone take your seats and be ready for the meeting. I invite Shali George to give the welcome the guests and make the club announcements.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. So when George asked me to do the introduction this afternoon, my first thought was to hide my head in the sand like an ostrich. But at that time, the word of the day saved me. Thank you, Mohit. Intrepid. So I took the challenge fearlessly to do this job. So here I am. So my job is introduce, welcome all our guests today. Today we have two guests, Giorgio Chirail and Joseph Chirail. Welcome to this meeting. I would like to welcome all the members today, and especially the Toastmaster of this today, Mr. Biju Chakubarigal. He is the founder of this club here in this church. Thank you very much for the initiative. Thank all the people of this community, and we have seen that this club is helping a lot of people from our community. We had a wonderful family night event, and we showed that the existence of this club here, and we motivated many people to join this club. I am very happy to see a big turnout today for this meeting. Thank you so much for coming this meeting. Thank you.
Today the theme of our meeting is the Republic Day. As you all know, today is Republic Day for India. I know that we used to hear, most of us when in school or wherever, definitely during Republic Day, the Jana Gana Mana song. So I just wanted to welcome Joseph to sing Jana Gana Mana for us.
Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchala Jaladi Taranga Tap Shubha Name Jage Tab Shubha Ashish Mange Gahe Tab Jaya Gatha Jana Gana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He.
Tradition in US, we also sing, if you sing any other national anthem, I think we also sing the US national anthem. So please join for Joseph singing the US national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets at last to the perils we led.
Take care.
I think you will conclude that. So we will get to the meeting part for today's Toastmasters, and I would invite the role players today to explain their roles so that people know what is going on here. So to start with, I would invite our grammarian, Mohit, to introduce the word of the day and explain his role. Mohit.
So I'll be the grammarian for the day. So the word for the day is interpret. It's an adjective and it means fearless and brave. The word can also be used as a synonym for courageous, for being courageous or both. So it's describing a person who is courageous, right? So try to use this word today and we'll acknowledge that.
Thanks, Mohit. Let's see how many people are courageous and interpret and use the word of the day. Mohit will be illustrating that. The next I would invite our timer, Joy Thomas, to explain his role.
Thank you. As a timer, my role as a timer to give feedback on the amount of time each seat takes. So each presentation should be within the time range, and the first icebreaker speech is of 4 to 6 minutes, and others project speeches 5 to 7 minutes. Table topics 1 to 2 minutes, and speech evaluation 2 to 3 minutes. We will be displaying different color codes, the green and the yellow and red. So the green card means you have reached the minimum, and the yellow means you have reached the halfway point, and red means you have to wind it up and conclude. Thank you.
Just to remind and reiterate, please, we have supposed to shake hands when and after we finish our speech. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah. Next, I want to invite our accountant Alex Crispin to give.
Good afternoon. I'll be the accountant today. So I'll be counting the words, repeating words like so, all those things which makes the lesson a little boring. So I'll give a report at the end of the meeting to see how many you used. I think I did this role many times. I'm getting an expert in it. I started listening in my company presentation also how many hours and of these.
Next, I want to introduce topic master today, which is Jordan, to explain his role.
So I'm the topic master of the day. So it will be like have questions which people pick up and do impromptu speeches for 2 minutes. I've chosen questions from different aspects of life. I'm going to pick up a particular topic. Let's get it around. Let's see how people do today. Thank you.
Next, I invite, today there's a small change in the agenda. I invite Joe Spohn to explain his role as a general evaluator.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was not prepared to be a general evaluator today because of Priya's absence. I am taking up that role. So, continuing the trend Shali mentioned, being intrepid, I am going to try my level best. So, the role of a general evaluator is initially to introduce the other evaluators, and once the speeches and the topic sessions are over, again to chair the general evaluation section and evaluate all of the meetings. So, the first step, I would like to invite evaluator of the speaker 1, Roy, to explain his talk.
Yeah. You don't have to.
Oh, okay, then we'll continue with the.
So any other?
No, then I think it's my fault. I looked some of your work. That's why. Okay. So please, Roy will introduce Manoj. First, please.
Good afternoon. Okay, I'm here to introduce. Oh, sorry.
No, we could. Our parents said we could play.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay.
We're just watching.
Yeah, but then you have to be back.
No, be quiet, okay? You can watch, but be very quiet. We are having a meeting. Sorry.
Okay. So before I introduce, I need to welcome the new guests because we already welcomed Jojo and Remy, but we have Ruby and Sam just now. And Sam, no, that's fine. I'll give you a chance for you too. Okay, so welcome Sam and welcome Ruby, and I hope you will continue joining our regular meeting. Okay, so I am going to introduce our speaker. The first speaker is smart, intrepid, and joined recently to our club, but within no time he made a mark. And we know his ideas, how it helped in our skit rehearsal.
Nasser. Your dad is looking for you. Your dad is looking for you.
Okay, so going back to, so he is actually staying in Edison with his beautiful wife Ruby with 2 kids, and kids are very smart. The third grade, was talking to us the orbit velocity, and that too he was talking to George. He was basically in the working on the satellite. So it was nice to hear that. Okay, and when I asked Manoj to give a few sentences, I was waiting for that, but I didn't get anything. So I just looked his LinkedIn profile. So it was very impressive, and he has tremendous experience in capital markets. Hope it's going to help us a lot later. We're hoping to hear that soon. So I'm welcoming Manoj to do his icebreaker speech. All the best, Manoj.
Memories, my friends, memories are like these pom-poms that are there in this jar. They're small, they're big, they're colorful, they're exciting, right? They fill our lives pretty much like this jar with our experiences. Mr. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends, I'm here today standing in front of you to provide a peek into my life, to let you see some of those memories that really formed me as an individual. I was born in Kerala. I had a largish family, but really lived home away from home, if you will, right? Way up north in Chandigarh. I still remember, I'm really thankful for my parents that every summer vacation we used to come, travel right from there into Kerala. That sort of allowed us to stay in touch with Kerala, our cousins, and all of that. The journey was long. We didn't used to have flights and all of that. It was a train journey. From Delhi, it was KK Express, 3.5 days. The last day was particularly exciting for my sister and me. We used to wake up really early in the morning. We'll find that right window. We'll look out of the window, anticipating for something. For that board that says, "Welcome to Kerala." It was special. The vast, barren lands converting into lush, green, wet surroundings. It was magical for us as kids. Wonderful memories that we have had as kids. I still remember, my sister was one of those usual sisters. She will find all those mischiefs that I would do and figure out a way to go tell my mom about it. I tweaked the 10 Commandments a little bit to tell her that, you know what, lying is okay as long as it is helping someone else, right? I kind of got away with all of that, right? If I now fast forward, look at my college life, not sort of dwelling too much into it, but I still remember the reason why I got into the college was my cousin really telling my mom, you know what, that college is right next to your house. You could probably have a better control on them. And more importantly, it's run by Jesuit fathers. None of those things are going to work there. He'll be under full control. So, it was year 2000. Year 2000 where, as most of you remember, people were preparing for the end of civilization, if you will. Right? Year 2K. Dan Brown came up with his second book, Angels and Demons. Someone gifted that book for me. And that book, for all practical purposes, was the start of the journey, if you will, of my liking towards books. It became so much that sleeping didn't matter, food didn't matter. If I'm hooked onto a title, then I'm just on it till it's finished. Now that's something that has connected with me, stayed on with me ever since. My professional life started off right after college when I got into GE. Such was God's plan that I was here in Chicago in the very first year of my professional life, managing the transition of what it was, GE's commercial finance business and the Hella Financial Services business. It was a superb experience, a dream come true for someone who's just entering the professional life. But since then, if I look back at the years of what I've actually done, I've amassed a ton of experience in driving large-scale transformation, consulting, consultative sales, so on and so forth. But I think the highlight really is that if I look at the last 12 odd years of my life, I've spent time over 4 countries. You can call it my likeness to jumping into challenging situations. You could call it my tenacity, or like Mohit would call, intrepid nature. I would jump into situations where my colleagues really ask me, why would you do that? You're so settled in your life. Why would you jump in from this country to the other? Jump into that situation that will make you uncomfortable. But probably that's probably who I am. In 2009, I met and married my lovely wife, Ruby. And God has blessed us with 2 lovely children, Noel and Isabel. if we were to spend time talking about the way we got married, it's quite interesting. I would probably keep it to another speech, if you will. But that's another interesting story. But as I look back at my life, at this job, at these memories that form my life, my experiences, and I look at Toastmasters, I see it as an opportunity. My friends, I see it as an opportunity to connect the dots of my memories into a beautiful necklace, if you will. This necklace that not just makes me a better communicator and a better human being, not just help myself, but my fellow beings as well. Thank you for the opportunity.
Keep all your memories. What a wonderful icebreaker speech. I have no words to explain. That reminds me of another Manoj who gave the final speech, I think, for Manoj Vasudevan, I think. The Toastmaster he gave. I think you are there, okay? You have the chance. I think you use this stage and you have a potential for that. Nice. Good one. Now to top that, I think we have our next speaker, and I welcome Saji to introduce James.
Happy Republic Day, everyone. Sorry, my time is just staying a little bit. That's okay. So, although my responsibility is to evaluate James for today, but I couldn't help. It was such a nice presentation by Manoj. Really appreciate it, of course. Well, James don't require an introduction. If I introduce him, it will be too much. But let me tell you, he's my neighbor. He's my immediate neighbor, and one of the earliest founding members of this club, Toastmasters Club. So, and he is a director of engineering projects in BNY Mellon at this time. He has 3 children, beautiful wife, Teslin. For you who doesn't know him in the earlier sessions, probably didn't hear the introduction for him. So he's struggling. Okay. He's actually doing his Project 7. The purpose of Project 7 is it's a research project that he's going to share with us. So that would involve giving details of his research topics, the materials that he collected, how he presented to us interestingly. That is all things that I have to evaluate. And even though George is not here, he gave me special instruction to evaluate him thoroughly and a little bit difficult. I don't know what happened, but I need to. I couldn't get a chance to ask him. So with that being said, I would like to introduce James.